free Vybz Kartel.
The Judicial Committee of the Privy Council has unanimously concluded that the appeals should be allowed and the appellant's convictions should be quashed on the ground of juror misconduct, and that the case should be remitted to the Court of Appeal of Jamaica to decide whether to order a retrial of the appellants for the murder of Clive Williams.
I'm going to be very, very cautious in what I say.
Conviction has to be quashed before you could have the question of a retrial. But the whole point is, as the judge said, the Court of Appeal is now going to decide if Kartel and the other three are going to be tried again. Yeah. In other words, this could, if the Court of Appeal says yes, there's going to be a retrial, this could start all over again from scratch in the Supreme Court, meaning selection of jurors, meaning presentation of the evidence, submissions, everything, everything that's involved in a new trial. So it's not over yet by a long shot. It is obviously a big victory for Kartel and his team because now they have another shot. But we have to wait for the Court of Appeal to see what it is they're going to decide, if they're going to say this needs to go to a retrial or not. If there's no retrial, then they would go free. But if there is a retrial, then the question is going to be, are they going to get out on bail or are they going to be held pending the retrial? So there are a lot of issues yet to be decided.
Risk-taking, desperation, evil, wickedness Babylon system to ensure that when we got to this time in life, what you think happened? This time in life, Afrobeats has excelled far beyond reggae because the players, the movers and the shakers was oppressed. We've had in this, out of Jamaica, just like how we have Usain Bolt, we got Bob Marley. And people are going to say I'm biased, but do not ever count this out. I've said this in many spaces. Vybz Kartel is a national treasure. Vybz Kartel was placed in the Court of Appeal, Courtroom 1 in the Privy Council. His appeal was heard in the biggest court of the land.
There's some confusion about the Privy Council's decision in the Vybz Kartel case. So this is what we know so far from his attorney, Isaac Buchanan, who was in the courtroom in London when the decision was read. I just spoke with him. Attorney Buchanan says this is a victory for Kartel and his three co-defendants because the convictions were quashed. But this does not mean that they will all go free right away. That's because the Privy Council referred the case back to the Jamaican Appeals Court. I asked him, does this mean Kartel and the co-defendants will be released pending the Jamaican court's decision about a retrial? And he says they will remain behind bars at least until a new hearing date is set and an application made. I expect to be talking with Mr. Buchanan again this afternoon. We'll get more details about this and how this is all going to play out. But he says the decision does not involve the release of Kartel and the three other men at this particular time. That's the latest from here in the Fox 5 newsroom in New York, and we'll have much more for you as the day goes on.
Those of you in St. Thomas, you know what to do. Just send up to prayer and re-up the gathering, you know? So, all my peoples in St. Thomas, y'all know what it is. It's that time, so I'm going to cut the live. Live did nice, you know, but y'all join me later tonight. So if you're in Jamaica, 5.
What you want? Big bomb buckler gunman, this now. I'm thinking, oh, hey, one in. If you know, you know, bomb buckler, hold it down, my father. Hold it down, yeah, hold it down.
For those youth stuck in the ghetto, you know, wishing to become something better, what kind of advice would you give to them?
No, well, the advice for any ghetto youth, if you want to do something in life, you first have to set a goal. You have to start off with short-term goals. You set short-term goals and you start achieve them. Then you start make long-term goals. You have to focus, you have to dedicate it. And you have to love what you're doing. That's the first rule.